In the village of Umuofe, respect was not a suggestion, it was law. Not written on paper, but carved into the hearts of the people. Because in Umuofe, it was said, the day a child laughs at an elder is the day his shadow begins to leave him. But there was one young man who laughed anyway. Welcome to Gozy Folktales, where African stories come alive. Umuofe was a proud village, the kind where the earth was red and fertile, where every compound told a story, and where elders were not just old people, they were living history. Among the villagers lived a young man named Obinna. Obinna was strong, handsome, and feared by many, not because he was dangerous, but because he had no respect. He believed he was different, better. Why should I bow to men who will soon become dust, he once said, laughing. The other youths avoided him. The elders watched him. But his father, Okeke, feared for him. Okeke was a quiet man, a man who understood that some battles were not fought with strength, but with humility. One evening, he called Obinna. "My son," he began, "strength without respect is like fire in dry season. It destroys everything, including itself." Obinna scoffed. "Father, times have changed. These old men, what do they really know?" Okeke's face tightened. "They know what you do not know, and what you do not know can destroy you." But Obinna had already turned away. One market day, a visitor came, an elder, not just any elder, Elder Nwosu. He was known across villages, a man whose words were said to carry weight beyond the physical. When he entered Umuofe, people bowed their heads, women lowered their voices, even the wind seemed to slow, but not Obinna. Obinna stood tall, watching, smiling, waiting. It happened at the village square. Elder Nwosu sat beneath the nuku tree, speaking softly with the chiefs. Obinna approached, loud, deliberate, disrespectful. "So, this is the great elder," he said mockingly, "the one people fear like thunder." Murmurs spread. Okeke, who stood nearby, froze. Elder Nwosu looked up slowly. His eyes met Obinna's, calm, too calm. "Young man," the elder said gently, "a chick that mocks the eagle forgets the sky is wide." Obinna laughed, loud, sharp. "And an old eagle forgets that wings grow weak." Silence, heavy, unforgiving silence. Then Elder Nwosu nodded once. So be it. That night, Obinna couldn't sleep. At first, it was nothing, just a strange feeling, like someone was watching. Then he noticed something, his shadow. It moved differently. He stood up. The moonlight cast his shadow clearly on the wall. But when he raised his hand, the shadow did not follow immediately. It delayed, just slightly. Obinna frowned. It must be my imagination. But deep down, fear had already planted its seed. Days passed. The delay grew longer. Soon, the shadow moved on its own. Sometimes it stood still when Obinna walked. Sometimes it turned when he did not. Obinna stopped laughing, stopped going out, stopped speaking boldly, because he knew something was wrong. He went to his father, for the first time afraid. "Father, my shadow." Okeke didn't let him finish. His voice broke. "You mocked the elder." They went to Elder Nwosu. Obinna fell to his knees. Gone was the pride. Gone was the arrogance. "Please, forgive me," he said. "I did not understand." The elder looked at him, long, deep. Understanding comes before action, not after consequences. Obinna trembled. "Is there a way to fix this?" Silence. Then the elder spoke. "When a man's shadow begins to leave him, it means his spirit has started to reject him." A gasp escaped Okeke. "What must he do?" he asked urgently. The elder's voice dropped. "He must learn humility, not in words, but in suffering. Obinna was given a task: to serve, to bow, to listen, to live as the lowest among those he once mocked. Days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months. Slowly, his shadow returned, but not fully, never fully, because some things, once broken, never completely heal. And in Umofe, when a child raises his voice against an elder, they do not shout, they do not fight. They simply say, "Be careful, your shadow is listening." If you enjoyed this story, come back every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for more stories. Thank you.